I feel like Bull Shark definitely tried to be an interesting film. I think a real effort was made here, but there are just too many things that don't work about this, mainly the narrative and the lack of horror. This was released in 2022. It's directed and written by Bentman, and we have a cast including Thom Hallum, Blair, Lindsey Marie Wilson, and others. And the performances, absolutely fine. I'll start with the positives. The performances are good. The characters are generally well written. We have some beautiful shots, some gorgeous camera work. Absolutely no problems with any of that. The music is quite good as well, but the story isn't that interesting. It's about a shark that's threatening people's safety. And there are many horror films like that where there's not a lot of substance to the narrative, but the horror aspect, well, it's usually gore. The graphic aspect is very well done, so it still works. With this, I feel like they tried hard to make it a very heavy narrative with a lot of different things going on, and to make it meaningful, we have some, I guess, meaningful conversations. There's a conversation or a bit of dialogue about bravery, which, yeah, it is not bad, but it's not very interesting. I think they tried and this is just my opinion, they tried so hard to give the narrative a lot of substance that it kind of took away from the reason people are watching this, and that's for a horror film about sharks. And that part of it was just really, really weak. So it just didn't really have a lot to offer. The narrative itself, yes, I think an effort was made, but it still isn't really offering very much. We have some okay bits of dialogue, and the characters themselves are relatively interesting, but that's not enough to save the film. And as I said, whenever anybody is going to watch this, it's almost definitely always going to be because they want to watch a horror film about sharks. And in that regard, it just doesn't deliver. So there are some okay aspects, but the narrative is ultimately very weak. But I don't think it's for lack of effort. I don't think it's a lazy film. I don't think they've not put the time and thought into it. I just don't think it's achieving, in my opinion, what they want it to achieve. So it's not a very good film, but I don't think there's a lack of talent here. It's not one of those films that's bad because it feels amateur. I just think maybe the direction wasn't very effective. So I think there's a lot of potential. It unfortunately strays away from that potential, though. So I think that maybe if they'd made some other decisions and shifted the focus of it, it could have been a decent film. But unfortunately, that is not what we get. That's not the final product. So I don't recommend it. Unless maybe you really don't like horror films, but you do like sharks, maybe there'll be an appeal there. As I said, there are some okay characters and the performances are good, so there are some decent aspects. But if you're looking for a horror film about sharks, this isn't going to be that film. So it's not great. There are some okay moments. I think there's a lot of talent behind the film. I just don't think Bull Shark delivered what the viewer wants, and potentially what they set out to achieve. Obviously, I don't know what they were trying to achieve, but I just feel like it missed the mark. So I didn't really like it. There are some good aspects, but ultimately, I don't really recommend it.